Beyond every illusion lies a deeper truth. Welcome to Beyond the Illusion with the R-TisT-O. Welcome to episode 3, The Feeling Behind the Illusion. The more time I spend around magic, the more I realize something important. People don't remember every trick. Uh, they forget the cards, the coin, the methods, but they never forget the feeling. That moment when something impossible happens directly in front of them, and for a split second, their understanding of reality breaks. That feeling is difficult to explain. It's part surprise, part mystery, part childlike wonder. And maybe that's why magic affects people so deeply. Because adults spend most of their lives believing they understand the world, how things work, what's possible, what isn't. Then suddenly a simple illusion happens. A card rises by itself, a coin disappears, a ball penetrates through a cup. And for one brief moment, the impossible feels real. I remember another moment that taught me something important about magic. At one point in my life, I was managing a hotel, and whenever things became quiet, I would sometimes show small magic tricks to some of the employees. One day, I walked into the kitchen and gathered a few of the guys together. I asked them, did you know it's possible to collect energy from the walls and transfer it into an object? Of course, they looked at me like I was crazy. So I took out a dollar bill, I crumbled it tightly in my hand, and told him that with enough energy, the dollar would begin to move on its own. As I wiggled my fingers like I have electricity causing magic to happen, then slowly the crumpled dollar began floating over my hand. No visible strings, no wires, nothing they would uh, be able to explain. The reactions were unforgettable: shock, laughter, confusion. One of them even grabbed the dollar afterward just to make sure it was, an ordinary bill. But the part I remember most happened the next day. I walked by and saw a couple of them standing near the wall, trying to collect energy the same way I did and gimmick the illusion. And honestly, part of me felt proud because in that moment I knew the illusion had truly connected. They allowed themselves to believe something impossible might actually be real. But another part of me felt bad because no matter how hard they tried, the magic wouldn't happen for them. And maybe that's the strange beauty of illusions. Not simply fooling the eyes, but awakening the imagination. Maybe that's the true purpose of illusion, not to fool people, but to remind them what wonder feels like. Here's a good idea. Want to truly challenge a magician? After witnessing a powerful illusion, no matter how amazed, shocked, or fooled you may feel, don't react too much. Don't ask to see it again. Just quietly say, okay, and walk away. Because in that moment, the magician is left alone with a mystery of their own. Did the trick truly connect? Was it strong enough? Did it create wonder or not? And that confusion pushes magicians to become better. But that's not really the lesson I'm here to explain to you. The real lesson begins after the illusion is over and you have walked away, uh, gone home. I want you to go home. I want you to think about the feeling the trick created, not the method, not the secret, but the feeling. That brief moment where reality seemed impossible, where your mind stopped searching for answers and simply experienced wonder. Then practice your art. Practice, 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 practice enough that one day you can create that same feeling for someone else, for another person, another generation, another curious mind, because maybe that's what magic truly is. Not deception, but passing wonder from one human being to another. One of the most fascinating parts of magic is the exact moment people begin to believe. Not necessarily believe the trick is supernatural, but believe even for a second that something impossible might be happening. That moment is powerful because the mind briefly lets go of logic and gives itself permission to wonder. I've seen it happen many times with performing. People laugh at first, they act skeptical, they search for the secret, but then the illusion happens and suddenly everything changes. The room becomes quieter, faces change, eyes lock onto the impossible, and for the brief moment, adults become children again. I remember another moment that reminded me how powerful wonder can be, even for adults. I remember one particular moment that perfectly captures this feeling. At the same hotel where I used to perform for employees, a major wrestling event was taking place in the city. Several famous wrestlers were staying at the hotel, and part of my job that night was helping escort them through the building to their rooms. That night, while we were walking, a couple of them down the hallway, another employee who was assisting me suddenly stopped and said, "Did you know he does magic?" Before I could even think about it, they asked to see a trick. The wrestlers who we were escorting. Luckily, I already had one prepared. It was a dollar bill illusion where the four corners of the bill no longer matched correctly. I believe it was called mismatch. The bill looked completely impossible after the trick was done, as the reality itself had mismatched the corners the wrong way. And honestly, part of me thought there's no way these huge famous wrestlers will be fooled. Uh, these were world famous performers, larger than life personalities, people who are used to entertaining thousands. But that moment the illusion happened, everything changed. Their reactions became real, surprised, amazed, curious. And I still remember Triple H and China looking at me and saying, "Wow, you've got some fast hands. Let me see that again." That moment stayed with me because it reminded me of something important. Wonder doesn't disappear just because people grow older. No matter who someone is, deep down, there's still a part of them that wants to experience the impossible. And maybe that's why magic has survived for generations. Not because people truly believe in impossible powers, but because part of the human spirit still wants to believe wonder exists. The longer I stayed around magic, the more I began to understand something deeper. Magic is not really about tricks, not cards, not coins, not secret gimmicks. These are only tools. The real purpose is creating a moment people never forget, a feeling, a memory, a brief experience where reality suddenly feels larger than it did before. And maybe that's why magicians never forget the first time they were truly fooled, because that feeling stays with them. Then something interesting happens. One day, they stop chasing that feeling for themselves and begin trying to create it for others. A child seeing a coin appear from nowhere, an adult staring in disbelief at a floating object, a room full of people laughing, questioning, wondering, and for a brief moment, everyone shares the same mystery together. I remember the first time I saw David Copperfield perform live on stage. Growing up, of course, I never missed his television specials. I don't think anyone missed those. It was on at least once a year. The illusions felt impossible, larger than life, almost unreal. But never imagined he would actually perform in my city one day, live on stage. And then finally, it happened. I remember sitting in the audience completely amazed by what I was witnessing. The scales of the illusions, the atmosphere, the emotion, everything felt beyond explanation. And after the show ended, there's no way I would leave without trying to get a glance of him and see him in person. I didn't leave. I waited outside near the arena door in the back, of course, for more than 2 hours, hoping for a chance to meet him. Standing there with me was my girlfriend at that time and another fan holding a collection of Copperfield's soundtrack, which I never thought it existed, but it was a CD with all the songs that he uses during his shows. It was a soundtrack. Then finally, he came out. He signed the photo I had bought inside the show. And strangely, I remember feeling both amazed and a little afraid. Not because I truly believed he was supernatural, but because his performance felt so powerful, so impossible, that part of my mind didn't know what to believe anymore. And maybe that's what great illusions can do. For a brief moment, it pushes reality beyond its normal limits. That experience stayed with me because it taught me something important. The strongest magic is not remembered only because of the trick, but because of the feeling it leaves behind. Maybe that's the true legacy of illusion, not fooling people, but passing wonder from one generation to the next. Because long after the method is forgotten, the feeling remains. This is Beyond the Illusion with the R-TisT-O.